Welcome back. It's me, ClassyKassy, your favorite tarot card reader and psychic advisor. Today's topic is destiny or fate. What's the difference? These two words are used pretty much interchangeably today, so it's confusing. Is your destiny fated? Is your fate destined? Can you see it in a crystal ball? Is it written in the stars? Is it woven in a web? Is it encoded in the palm of your hand? Or is it a spin of the wheel of fortune? I decided to go back to my hard copy of the Oxford Dictionary and take a look at what it says about the definitions for fate and destiny. Fate had four. The primary one being the development of events outside of a person's control, regarded as decided in advance by a supernatural power. Or it could be destined to happen in a certain way, fated. Or it could be referring to the fates, the three goddesses who control people's lives in Greco Roman mythology. Or its fate is simply the outcome of a situation. Now, destiny are the events that will happen to a person in the future. Destiny is the power believed to control future events, the power believed to control fate. So let's look at the fates of Greco-Roman mythology, the three sister goddesses known as the Moirai. Now, in art, you most commonly see them reading a book of fate, where people's fates and destinies are pre-written. And the duties of these three goddesses were to spin, measure, and cut the thread of life. Each person had a single thread that was spun by Clotho the spinner. And then Lachesis, the allotter, measured out your allotted time on the thread of life. And Atropos, the inevitable, cut the thread of life at the appropriate moment. So we see the fates as spinning your fate or weaving your fate. And what did the ancients really think? Your fate, can you change it? Is your destiny already determined by the goddesses of fate, the Moirai, the Norns? Is your fate gifted by fairy godmothers? Or is your fate prophesized by witches? Predestination, are some things destined to be your fate no matter what you do, versus self-determination. Can your fate be changed by choosing a different destiny? You know, the damned if you do, damned if you don't proposition. Well, thousands of years ago, the ancient Western philosophers debated whether fate was preordained by the gods or whether fate is self-determined by humanity's free will. From Plato to Pythagoras to Aristotle, guess what? The ancient Greeks and Romans were slave-holding societies. And if your society believes in slavery, then predestination is the justification for it. Born a slave, always a slave. Do slaves have free will? Masters didn't think so. Only the free born had free will in slave societies. But we've come a long way, baby. And even though slavery still exists in the modern world, it was abolished less than 200 years ago here in the United States of America. And we believe that sovereignty is an unalienable We believe that sovereignty is an unalienable human right. You are born sovereign, not a slave. Every person is born with all the tools that they need to realize and personify the courage, fortitude, and spiritual strength necessary to arise and triumph over the instinctual, bestial, lower animal nature. You see, in truth, free will, conscious awareness, and the ability to reason were gifts to humanity that separated us from animal consciousness. The difference between fate and destiny is choice. Slaves do not have choice. Animal consciousness is only reacts to instincts and conditioning. It doesn't have free will. At the crossroads, you must choose your path. Are you ready to take the leap of faith? So, your fate. What is your life's purpose? The Fool's Journey, encoded in the Tarot's major arcana, symbolically illustrates the soul's path of transformation, referred to in alchemy and Hermeticism. It's also referred to by Joseph Campbell as the hero's journey in his classic book, The Hero with a Thousand Faces. It is considered the noble purpose of the ancient mystery schools, where an initiate seeks states of higher consciousness, divine oneness, cosmic balance, moral truth, and spiritual freedom through successful negotiation of the lessons of the greater mysteries, integration of the light and the dark within, and sublimation of the ego. Carl Jung referred to this as self-individuation. In psychology today, they call it self-actualization. And we can also recognize it as universal oneness, unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, spiritual unity with all there is, mastery of the will, and mastery of mind over matter. Now, we haven't talked about the Eastern philosophers who believed in reincarnation. They also were big believers in predestination, especially I'm thinking about Hinduism and the caste system. You know, born a Brahmin, always a Brahmin, born an untouchable, always an untouchable. However, they believed that you chose your fate before you were born. And when you, like the fool, took the leap of faith and descended from higher states of consciousness and light down into the denser quantum physics of physical reality, that the choices that you made in life were to affirm the fate that you had chosen before you were born. And there's the fate you get if you follow your destiny, and there's the fate that you get if you don't follow your destiny. So let's talk about destiny. And we're going to look at the lesser mysteries of the twos in the tarot, because they all represent choice between this or that. Destiny is comprised of the experiences, the choices that you make, and the steps that you take to carve out your fate. The Dominion card, whether you're carving out your domain at work or at home. It's also the ability to make choices and take actions in life to shape your destiny. And it's what makes you human, because we can choose to go beyond instinct and conditioning. We can use free will to choose cooperation and harmony. But what happens when you take no action? Well, then you get no change. What happens when you refuse to choose? Well, then you're in a state of stalemate. Now, the end of the hero's journey is the result of the destiny you chose to fulfill in life. Your fate is the outcome of your destiny, and your destiny is the path to your fate. And remember, change is the only constant. Are you the master of your destiny, like the charioteer in the chariot card? Or are you a slave to your fate, a fate that was not chosen by you, but was imposed upon you by a master who expected you to be a slave to the destiny that they chose for you? So, will you choose the path of temptation or the path of truth? And I'm using the devil card and the lover's card. The devil, tempting devil on one shoulder, and the angel on the other shoulder. Okay, to illustrate this point. Okay, the devil uses people, loves things and money because they're selfish. While people who choose the path of truth love people and they use things and money in service to others. Passions versus patience. Pleasures versus discipline. Addictions versus perseverance. Materialism versus spirituality. Bondage versus freedom. Choose wisely.